Assalamualaikum and greetings to Dr. Shamsul bin Muhammad. So my name is Ahmad Koyim bin Ahmad Jan and I am representing Group 6 to demonstrate our group project. Okay, so this is our report. Okay, so based on our report, you can see we have provided a link where you can access the data that we get um, for our project. So when you click this link, it will bring you to this website. Okay, so you can see the title of the datasheet is Dilmer Road Wastewater Treatment Plant Electricity Consumption. Okay, so under this datasheet there are three data sets. So out of the three data set, we choose the first data set, which is about the daily electricity and influent data. Okay, so inside the first data set, it shows the bill kilowatt hour has been recorded, and then the kilowatt hour that has been recorded, and also the total kilowatt hour, which is the same as the bill kilowatt hour per hour. And also the last one is the mg, is the volume of the natural, is the consumption of the natural gas. Okay, so the independent variable for our project will be the date of the occurrence for this data. As for the dependent variable, it will be the total kilowatt hour, which is the electric consumption. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how we input this data by using the SPSS software. So as you can see, this is the layout of the SPSF software. Okay, so you can see that I've input the variable of our data. Okay, where this you can see at here the variable date is the our independent variable, and the dependent is the electric consumption here. Okay, at first we are having some difficulties in inserting the data for the date, where the variable column can't detect the format of the date. Where you can see here, let's say I input 0101 sorry, 01/01 2010. Okay, you can see, so you can see here where uh, it the the date that I input just now cannot be inserted into the first column. Okay, so in order to solve this problem, yeah, you should I need to list manually the sequence of the date, starting from the first day up until the 30th day. Okay, so you can see here I have list according the sequence. Okay, so you can see the month is one, where one is indicating the month of January, and then you can see the second column is day, and the last column is the year, which is the year that we use for our project is 2010. Okay, so out of these three columns, okay, in order to generate the data, you need to go to transform and then select compute variable. Okay, when you press compute variable, it will prompt you to mean the it will prompt a box where you can see the date variable here. Okay, so here you type date. Okay, and then you can see at the function group, it will there is a lot of functions. So out of all of the function, select date creation. Okay, and then you can choose according to the function that you decide to use for this. Okay, let's say if you choose the first one, is date, day, month, and year. Okay, and you choose the second one, is it will indicate the date, month, day, and year. Okay, so for mine, so for our project, we decided to use the function of so for our project, we decide to use the second function, which is the date. This is the date created will be based on month, day, and year. Okay, so select this, and then it will prompt at the numeric expression column to select the variable that should be input in order to create the date. Okay, so you can see the question mark highlighted in blue color. So first one, just select the variable where the first one should be our month. Okay, so select month, and then after you select the month, proceed to the next. Proceed to the second question mark, where for the second question mark, it will be the day, and the last question mark will be our year. Okay, so after you select the three variable, just select OK, and we will prompt an execution. It will show that the execution for the date is successful. Okay, so after that, you can see the date column has been created, and you can enter the following data as normally. So it should be no problem after you have set the format. Okay, so okay. Um, so after this, I'm going to show you how to generate the mean. Okay, so for this, just go to graph. I'm sorry. Um, go to analyze. Okay, so under the analyze, select descriptive statistic, and then go to descriptive. Okay, so it will prompt a box to select the independent and dependent variables. So just select date and then press the arrow in the middle. Okay, and then the other one is the total kilowatt. Also the same, press the arrow, and then after that press OK. Okay, you can see here, you can see this is the descriptive statistic of the variable that I've chosen just now. You can see it shows the minimum and maximum point for both of the variables, and then it show the mean for both variable and also the standard deviation for both variables. Okay, I'm sorry, just now I didn't show the how to set. I mean, what option should we choose in order to generate the descriptive statistic? So we go back, then go to data, we go again to analyze, and then go to descriptive statistic, and then select descriptive. Then in the option, okay, so select the mean, and then select the under the dispersion option, select the to show the standard deviation, the minimum point, and also the maximum point. And then the display orders, select variable list, and then after that proceed to continue. Proceed by pressing the continue, and then the same step. Press OK, and it will generate the statistic automatically. Okay, so right now I'm going to proceed by showing how to generate the scatter diagram. Okay, so you go to graph, and then select legacy dialogs, and then search until you can find the scatter and dot option. Okay, and then click. Okay, and then select simple scatter, and then press define. Okay, and then you prompt the simple scatter plot. Okay, so select the parameter that you gonna use in order to generate the graph. So for y-axis, I'm going to select the electric consumption. Okay, so select and then press this arrow, and then select date, and then press this arrow for x-axis, and then proceed by clicking on the OK button. Okay, you can see it takes a while to generate the graph. Okay, so this is the scatter diagram of the selected data. Okay, so in order to generate the equation, just double click this graph, and then it will prompt chart editor, and then select. Okay, and then select the. I'm sorry. Okay, so after you display the chart editor, select. So after you have double click the graph, go to the add field line at total, and then the properties, select linear, and then and then just click, and then after you select the linear option, and then close. Okay, you can see this is the line. Okay, so next we're going to analyze the regression and the linear. Okay, so by clicking the graph, uh, go to analyze and then search for regression, and then under regression select linear. Okay, so after you select linear, select the dependent and independent variable. Okay, so our independent variable is the date, and our dependent variable is the total kilowatt hour. Okay, after that, go to OK. So after we have select the parameter just now, it pop up the regression value where it shows the variable center and remove value, where you can see the date. Okay, and then you show the model summary where it shows the value of the R, the value of the R squared, and then the value of the adjusted R squared, and also the value of the standard error of the estimate. And for the ANOVA, it shows the regression and the residue, and it shows for the regression and residual sum of squares, and then the degree of freedom, and then the value of the mean squares, and then value of f, and also the value of the significant. And then for the coefficients, it shows the value of the constant, where it shows the unstandardized b, the coefficient standard errors, and also the standardized coefficient beta. Okay, and also the value of the t, and also the value of the significant. Okay, next we're going to test the hypothesis. So in order to test the hypothesis, okay, go to analyze, and then we find then select compare means, and then find one sample t-test, and then click the one sample t-test. Okay, and then it will shows the option to select the test variable that you're going to use. Okay, so for this, select date and select the total kilowatt hour. Okay, so and then click OK, and then it will shows the value of the t-test. Okay, where the first one show the value of the sample statistic for the date and total kilowatt hour. You can see here it shows the mean value, the standard deviation value, and also the standard error mean. Okay, and then for the second one, for the one sample test, it shows the t value for the date and total kilowatt hour, and then it shows the value of the degree of freedom, and then it shows the value of significance for one-sided p and also two-sided p, and then it shows the value of the mean difference, and also the 95% confidence interval of the difference for the lower and also the upper. And then it was the it shows the one sample's effect size for the date and the total kilowatt hour, where it shows the Cohen's-d and Hedges correction for both of the value, where you can see the value of the standardizer, and then the value of the point estimate, and also the value of the 95% confidence interval of lower and upper.